Welcome back to the show that is all about Quaker athletics. My name is Max Kroll. We have lots to talk about this week. With over 40 events on the schedule last week, it was a very busy week. But first, I'll tell you about a couple of games that I had the pleasure of attending. Girls varsity field hockey against Hamburg, and boys varsity volleyball against Canisius. We'll have that and 7 questions for an athlete that is on the girls golf team, and a top 10 list about field hockey. Let's get right to it! Orchard Park Field Hockey capped off a tough 3 games in 3 days. Against the Hamburg Bulldogs on Thursday, the Lady Quakers struck first and second with goals from Hallie Senfield at the 5 and 7 minute marks. While the first goal was unassisted, Claire Komanowski assisted on the second. After that, the Quakers switched to shutdown hockey, preventing a Hamburg comeback and holding the Bulldogs to 1 goal against 8 shots faced by senior captain Laura Chinaki. I caught up with Coach Callahan and Coach Markarian after the game. I asked Coach Markarian what was the key to their success against Hamburg.
We spread out a lot. This is our 3rd game in a row. I think the girls were tired, but they pulled it from their toes and they worked together as a team.
At one point of the game, Hamburg was looking like they were almost coming back. How did you guys keep that momentum from preventing a comeback?
Well, I think we took a timeout, and we also lost yesterday or the day before because we got really tired at the end. So we said we're not going to have this happen again, and we had some strategies in place. They followed the strategies, and we didn't let them score.
We also told the girls if they were tired, they need to recognize that and get out. We have fresh legs on the bench, and we put them in.
After getting through a tough stretch of games, I asked the coaches how are they going to prepare for more games next week.
We are going to rest. We've had 3 games in a row. They are beat.
I saw that on schedule.
Yep, that's tough, and we have 3 games next week. Luckily, it's 1, then a day off, and then 2 in a row.
The coaches had a message for their players and all the other student athletes at Orchard Park.
Go Quakers!
I have to say something too. Roll oats.
With the 2-1 victory, the Lady Quakers moved to 3-1 overall and 3-0 in league play. I stopped by the girls' varsity field hockey practice the next day, and they helped me with our next segment, which is a top 10 list. This week, we learned about the top 10 reasons that field hockey is better than ice hockey, as presented by the girls' varsity field hockey team.
We play outdoors, not just in a stuffy ice rink.
We play even during power outages.
Our Zamboni is a lawnmower, and we only need it once a week. We rarely need stitches after getting cut by footwear.
Our offsides rule is simple. There is none.
Helmets? Who needs helmets?
You do. Not as many broken sticks.
Not as many broken teeth.
You can keep Gretzky. We've got Diane Chan.
Yes. With 2.2 billion fans, it's the world's 3rd most popular sport. Ice hockey ranked, I don't know. They only listed the top 10.
Field hockey wasn't the only team on a busy schedule. On Friday, I stopped by the boys' varsity volleyball team in a match against Canisius. Like field hockey, this was also the 3rd of 3 matches this week. The energy at both teams was high, and well, as for the fans from both teams in attendance, let's see how they did. In Orchard Park boys volleyball, they hit the court on Friday at home against Canisius. The boys were tired after defeating St. Francis the night before and were down a couple of key players, but that didn't stop them from putting up a strong effort against Canisius. The first set was back and forth with the Quakers coming out on top 25-19. The second set was more of the same, and the Quakers won 25-22. In the third set, Canisius appeared poised to take their first set of the night, beating our Quakers by a score of 21-17. However, the boys fought back, winning the final set 25-22 and sweeping Canisius 3-0. Afterward, I caught up with Coach Alpano and asked him about the big comeback.
Yeah, Canisius had the energy and all the enthusiasm, and we just kind of knew that something like this would happen. We kind of trained for this, and when the guys knew they were down, they had to make plays. They came up big.
How do you think the Canisius did against your game plan?
Yeah, I mean, Canisius had the right idea. They knew we were down our starting libero tonight. Josh Rauch's out of town. Jake Zalasko did a really nice job stepping in, but they knew that Deacon Fisher's a relatively inexperienced passer. So they put the ball on him early, and we had to make adjustments from there.
With a win, the Quakers moved to 6-0 and are 3-0 in their division. In those 6 matches, the Quakers have only dropped 1 set, and just barely losing 27-25 the first set of their home opener against Williamsville North on Tuesday. They'll be right back on it on Monday on the road in Clarence.
In addition to volleyball and field hockey last week, it was also a busy week for cross country, swimming, tennis, soccer, football, and golf. Let's take a look at how they fared.
In cross country, the Orchard Park girls finished 11th at the Verona Cheryl Invitational. Noelle Barlett finished 16th overall in a time of 19 minutes and 43 seconds. In a field of 697 girls from across the state, Benjamin Beatrice was the top Orchard Park boys finisher in a time of 18 minutes and 8 seconds, followed across the finish line 4 seconds later by Thomas Blake. After starting the season with 4 tough losses, Our Lady Quakers defeated Hamburg 3-1 on Monday and tied Williamsville North 1-1 on Thursday. In boys soccer, our number 16 Quakers lost to co-number 16 Lancaster 3-1, but bounced back with a 3-1 win over number 4 seed Clarence 2 days later, bringing their league record to 3-1 on the year. In girls volleyball, our number 6 ranked Lady Quakers had a big win over Clarence 3-1 on the road, with set wins of 25-10, 25-10 again, and 25-16 to close out the Red Devils. As reported earlier, our boys volleyball team had 3 big wins, upping their overall record to 6-0 on the year. Girls tennis had 2 good wins this week against Amherst and Clarence. The boys football team's varsity had a rough loss to Bennett, and JV did as well. Boys golf had 3 nice wins, and the girls also paired a nice win. And field hockey had 2 good wins and a loss, and the JV had a good win. In girls swimming, senior Natalie Kassir took home 12 points, and sophomore Haley Lofum earned 10 as Orchard Park defeated Lancaster on Tuesday by a score of 120-56. And a quad meet on Friday with Clarence, East Aurora, and Lancaster. Orchard Park finished second, just 9 points behind Clarence, 628-619.
Up next, we have a segment we call 7 or So Questioned. In this segment, we get to know more about a senior on the girls' varsity golf team named Rachel Goronsky.
If not golf, what do you like best?
Fishing.
Yeah, it's fun. I like fishing. I'm not too good at it though. What's your favorite breakfast?
Yogurt, granola, strawberries, and banana.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Where do you want to go to college?
I was planning on going to the Air Force, but I can no longer go there, so I was thinking about Canisius.
Is it a top golf school?
No, it would be for rowing.
Do you think a hot dog is a sandwich?
It has a bun. It's pushed together. It's a sandwich.
I don't know. I feel like it's more of a roll. What's your favorite sports memory?
Oh, when Kaylin hit the car out in the and then it bounced back in, and it went on the green. That was probably my favorite.
If you were on a deserted island, what was one book that you'd have to have with you? I mean, I know reading's kind of meh, but what if you had to pick one book?
A survival book that has everything I need in it.
That's a good option. I like that option. Have you ever had a dream about squirrels playing lacrosse?
No, but I bet it'd be pretty funny.
What's the strange dream you've ever had?
Well, okay. It's kind of a long dream, but I was like on a mountainside and there was like a mountain lion, and I was like in like this like casket thingy, but I wasn't dead. I was like breathing still, and there was a TV in this casket, and the mountain lion like opened the casket up and then like screamed, and then I like must have died or something because I don't remember the rest of it. But yeah, that's the only one I remember.
That's scary. I'd panic.
Thank you for taking the time to let me tell you about a week in Quaker athletics. I hope that you will check back again next week for further updates. Until then, I hope you're able to get out to a game, match, or meet and cheer on your teams. We'll close today, as always, with a look at what's coming up next week. See you soon and have a great week.